Jason walked along the sidewalk with the same unhurried tread as always. What was there to hurry for? The ministry was not going to reward him for arriving early, would not give him an extra point or two on the social score monitor that was pinned over his heart. Even the superintendent would not notice if he were early. The ministry doors unlocked at 8 o'clock sharp every morning, and no attention was paid to those who arrived before the clock struck that exact time. The superintendent would only take notice if he was late. Well, he would take notice and 2 points from Jason's current SS total, which was presently a comfortable average. He couldn't afford to let it drop below that. So he kept walking. His worn tennis shoes beat a depressing tattoo against the cracked sidewalk, one that could be called a pattern but certainly not a rhythm. Rhythms were banned. They reminded some of the old people too much of music. Music was illegal now, too, just as other incomprehensible things were, strange things like art and guns and freedom and love. Jason didn't know what any of those last things were, not really. He had heard about them in the system, where the children went before they were old enough to be drafted, but he didn't know what they were. He thought he could remember music, though. If he closed his eyes tight enough and blocked out all the few other thoughts he was allowed to have, he thought he could pick out a string of sounds that lay dusty and unused somewhere deep in his memory. If it was music, and he wasn't exactly sure it was, being unable to recognize something he could not comprehend, it was from a long, long time ago, dating from his very first months of life. It would have had to have been music born just before the new world began, because that's when he had been born, too. Just a few months before the Reconstruction. Just a few months before the old world ended and everything changed, if one believed what the old people said. It was a shame about the old world ending so soon after he came into it, really. Sometimes Jason thought he would have liked it there. The cement wasn't so cracked the closer he got to the ministry buildings, but garbage still littered the storm drains and there were some rusty, liquid-looking stains near the outdated street lamp that hadn't been there yesterday evening on his walk home. His feet turned left at the street lamp without the rest of him thinking about it, and he went back to following the flat, colorless path to the huge mausoleum that was the place he worked, the place everybody worked, the ministry. It was the path he took every day, the one he had walked every day since he had turned 16 and been drafted, just as everyone else was, into the service of the new world. It was never different. It was always the same, with a ritual sameness that reflected the rest of his life, his and everyone else's. Except today it was not. Today, there was a girl standing on the SID.